everyone, this is Sasha bringing you a video tutorial today from BP4U. Today we are going to be talking about the Adobe Bridge, and this is something that is built into Adobe Photoshop Creative Suite Editions. So I have my bridge already open, and excuse ahead of time, it does run a little bit slow. So what you are looking at is my actual personal SD card, and the reason I chose to use this is because I shoot RAW, and to fully show you everything that the bridge does, I need some RAW files. So, you know, my pictures are not perfect straight out of the camera, so don't judge me. So here we go. I have my bridge open. Now you're going to see here that we have some panels over here and a collection of photos here, and again we have some workspace options up here, and we have some buttons over here. So the first thing here is this is where you can navigate to your folders, and you can see here this is my navigation. This is where I have been. This is the folder that I'm currently in right now, which is my SD card folder. You can come over here and you can see that down line as well. This is just kind of my favorites and where I go most often, or you can drag some favorites over there. Down here we have the filter. This is probably the greatest gift to photographers as far as the Adobe Bridge goes. This allows you to search for your photos. If you are like me, you can see I have 897 raw images and 95 JPEG files. If you're anything like me, you use the same SD card and it is full. So being able to search is an absolute godsend. So right here, the most common one that I use is file type. I will search for just my raw images, and most of the time when I'm doing that, it's because I'm deleting them. It's absolutely wonderful to grab all of your raw files. I delete mine. I know a lot of photographers save them and they keep them. I don't have the space on my computer for that. I edit what I want and the rest of it hits the trash. So it's absolutely wonderful for me to be able to delete from the bridge, and I don't have to worry that I'm accidentally going to delete one of my edited JPEG files. Because these files, when you delete them from the bridge, do not hit your trash can. They're just gone. And so that's something to keep in mind as well. It might be different, however, if you are not deleting from your SD card. When I delete from my SD card, they don't hit my trash can, they are gone. So I can look through my JPEG files here, and you can see just the edited JPEG, already done kind of files. I can look at all of them by not clicking on anything. I can look at just my raw images, which I just said before, you know, I can use that to, you know, I use that to delete files or to look up files that maybe I want to see what I can kind of play with and edit when I have the time. Down here you can search for keywords. I have not given any of my photos a keyword yet. You can search for the date created. Now this is wonderful for photographers. Okay, so you have this awesome memory card. It holds quite a few pictures. So you go out for a shoot on Monday and you shoot too many sessions. On Tuesday you shoot a wedding. No, weddings are Saturday. Tuesday you shoot, you know, a regular family session. Wednesday you shoot a birth, and Saturday you shoot a wedding, because your memory card is just huge and you can fit all that on there. So when you go back through later to look up your pictures, you will be able to say, okay, I only want to look at Wednesday's birth. So you can go through here and you can say, okay, well, you know, it was this day. So, okay, look, there you go. There's that day. This is actually trick-or-treating, but you know, not a birth, it was trick-or-treating. Okay, but you understand what I'm saying is that you can use this to be able to kind of go through and look up your pictures as opposed to having to sit and scroll, because sometimes scrolling can be a pain in the butt. So you can look at the date modified. The difference between date created and date modified would be the last time that you took it into editing. So if I went ahead and I edited a picture, it would go over to date modified because I modified my file. The next one you can search for is orientation. You can search for pictures that are landscape and pictures that are portrait. So that would be like horizontal versus vertical, if you're not familiar with that. Aspect ratio, color profile. Now you can see here that all of my edited photos I keep in sRGB mode, and all of my raw files are untagged because they're not yet, I haven't saved them into a color profile. You can search for your ISO. So if I only wanted to look at pictures that I shot at ISO 250, then I could click on that and it would show me only the pictures that I shot at ISO 250. We've got exposure. So this would be our shutter speed. You can look at the pictures that you just shot at, shutter speed 500 or 1/500, or 1/1000, or you can look at multiple ones. If I wanted to see only 1/250, 1/640, and 1/1600, then I would be able to see all of those values as opposed to just the one. Okay. And then aperture, again, you can search for the pictures that you shot wide open versus the pictures that you closed up a little bit more. And white balance. Now I don't have, on my camera, I don't have Kelvin white balance, so I only have the preset values. I have as shot, auto, custom, and fine weather. So if you have different white balance options such as Kelvins, or I'm not really entirely sure what Canon is because I'm Nikon, or Sony or Panasonic or Olympus, whatever the other camera brands are, that could differ based on your camera. And camera raw, here we have this last menu. We can search for pictures that have been cropped, uncropped, have custom settings or no settings. Okay, so we see here that we can filter our pictures, we can find them with ease. So let's move on here to collections. Now we can put our pictures into collections. So let's go ahead here and I'll take all of the pictures. These are all my snapshots from gymnastics. So I can right click and I can stack these pictures if I wanted to, and I can add pictures into, I can batch rename them now that I've stacked them. I can sort them manually, or I can sort them by, I like to keep them by file name because that's the order that I shot them in. But you can kind of keep them how you want to. Now I can give them a label. So we can say that these are all to do. I can move them over to another place on my computer. I can duplicate them. I can rename them. I can play it as, here, I have this little play button here so I can play them, and of course that was really fast. Here we go, frame rate. So we can change our frame rate. That was super fast. And we can slow that out. So you can see here that we can do some different things here, but we can also make a collection and we can include all of those files in our collection. So we can label this gymnastics. And so now I have all of my gymnastics pictures in one quick go-to file. So here I can come back and we can go back, and then I could make, you know, maybe another collection. These are all taken when my daughter got her very first big girl bed. So I have all of these pictures here. Again, I could go ahead and I can stack those, and I can clean up my workspace by doing this, and then I could add this to a collection. And I could say new bed. And so now I can toggle back and forth super quick between these two different collections. And I can filter, because in this collection I have both JPEG and RAW images. So now I can kind of work, and I can use this now to sort of navigate through my pictures and clean them up a little bit. So we are going to continue this video in a part 2. So thank you for watching this video tutorial, and stay tuned for part 2.